In January 2025, I decided to stop buying books. It's now 5 months later, so how's my book buying ban going? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you're anything like me, you've seen countless book lovers on social media talking about doing a book buying ban. It's either to save money, to get through their existing physical pile of books before buying more, or just to feel a little more in control of their book buying habits. Same. At the start of the year, I wanted to achieve all of those things too. I wanted to stop my endless habit of buying books, putting them on my shelf, and months later forcing myself to read them out of guilt. I wanted to save money instead of just impulse buying books without even looking at the blurbs. I wanted to actually read what I already had. But after seeing so many people try and fail, sometimes within just a few weeks, I thought it might be a long shot. If you've been following my progress on Instagram, you may already know how I've been finding the ban. But in this video, I'm going to go into way more detail. I'm going to tell you how I've been doing, and I'm going to be truly honest about my progress, because it's not exactly gone how I thought it would. Let's address the elephant in the room first. Yes, I'm still on my book buying ban. No, I've not broken it. In my original video, I set out my own personal book buying ban rules. Those were: I can't buy books. I can't buy new books. I can't buy secondhand books. I can receive gifts. I will keep my audiobook subscription. I pay monthly for Libro FM. I will keep the pre-orders I already have in place. And at this point in time, my last one of those just arrived, and I had about 3 in the first place. I also said I would pause the ban for a holiday. I was really vague about that, but I'm back now, so I can say it was Japan. And while I was there, I did buy 5 books, but I can't read any of them because I can't speak Japanese, so I'm not going to count them. Okay? Throughout the past few months, I have not broken any of these rules. I'm pretty proud of that. So let's take a look at things properly, because your girl has been keeping a spreadsheet. Yes, that's right. Another book-related spreadsheet. I know, I'm really cool. You can say it. Okay, this is my book buying ban spreadsheet. And as you can see, I started off in January and it is now June, but I have not input anything for June because we're kind of like middle of June-ish. But as you can see, I have put in January, which is when I started, how many books I had in my physical TBR, how many I had in my ebook TBR, how many I had in my audiobook TBR, and then I have included extra kind of columns for any ARCs that I had, advanced readers copies, any books that I DNF'd, did not finish, any books that I have borrowed from somebody, because although I've not included that in the rules, I have borrowed a book from my husband. So I thought, well, I need to include that. And then any books I was gifted. And then as you can see on the right, I've got like a total of what my TBR then is. And it's a sum of everything apart from my DNF, my borrow, and that's it. And then I've got a little difference from how much I've reduced it in each month. So as you can see, after 1 month, I reduced my TBR by 5 books, which doesn't really seem like much, but there was a lot of DNFing in there. By the 3rd month, the number actually stayed the same, and this is because that month was my birthday month, and so I got 8 books as gifts. By April, I had reduced it by another 5 books, and then by May, I had reduced it again. So you can see that the actual reduction of my TBR has been about 13%, which doesn't seem like much. It's some progress, but not as much as I thought I would have in around 5 months. If I'm 100% honest, I thought that number would be lower by now, that I would have made more progress. I had high hopes for this ban. I thought that by going on one, it would give me this magic motivation to plow through my existing books quicker, that instead of dragging my heels and putting off reading because I was overwhelmed by the numbers, I would overcome all that silly brain stuff and get to it because there was nothing standing in my way. But in reality, I think the ban has actually slowed me down. This is gonna sound silly, but it's almost like the ban has shifted my brain into a different state. Before, I was starting to see books as objects to buy and collect or possess. I would see an upcoming release or a special edition, or worse, an upcoming release with something special about it, like sprayed edges on the hardback that you can only get in the initial run, and I feel this urgent need to buy it. Now, I'm starting to see them as something to experience again, like I used to, when I used to go into a bookshop to buy a new book because I had literally nothing to read at home. The purpose of having the book is not to have it for a collection or because it's pretty, but for the story. That sounds silly and obvious because of course it is. But when you're involved in the marketing of the publishing world, which you are as a content creator, honestly, it makes that kind of urge to buy special editions hard to resist. When I pick my next book to read from my shelves now, it's with the sole intention to read it and immediately, rather than just buying and adding. I'm intentionally picking and experiencing. So now I don't feel in as much of a rush. I'm not trying to keep up with the new releases or advanced readers copies or the next book in a series because I'm not able to buy them. All I can do is read what I have. It's like I've reduced my book world to a few hundred books rather than the thousands upon thousands that are out there right now. I don't have that much choice. I just have a small little world right here. So what's the rush? That dreaded feeling of not being able to ever finish my TBR is gone. It has been a strangely calming experience so far, and if I'm being 100% honest, I've not found it difficult at all. Sure, I've struggled when I've gone into a charity shop and I have to look away from the book section. Sure, I felt some FOMO when a new release comes out that I'd really like to read. Especially when social media is involved, it can make you feel like you're missing out way more than you actually are, or it can make you feel like you don't belong in a space quite as much if you're not posting about the newest releases or what's currently popular. But in reality, those kind of things are fleeting thoughts, and then I feel solid again in the reason for doing this. Because I want to reform habits, I want to challenge how easy it is to fall into consumerism, because I want to have a little bit more control over my own willpower and money. So I'm going to keep going. Keep reading through my physical and digital TBR until I can stand it no longer. At this point, I would love to know if you've ever tried a book buying ban and how you found it. Was it easy? Hard? Did you stick to it? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for another video.